Be here today, seeing these smiling faces. I'm in my office in Germany, so you can see the pictures on the wall behind me. Customer is king, and what else does it say? Great products.
From focus and calm, right?
From focus comes growth. Yeah. So maybe do I hand to Prayag, or how do we want to start?
Yes, John. So normally, it's an introduction from our side. Are we expecting Patrick to be here?
Yes.
Patrick's getting a bit old now. Maybe it takes him longer to maybe it takes him longer to dial in. Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is.
Hi, John. Good morning.
Hi, Patrick. How are you? I was just commenting on your youthful status in life.
Should have gone to Specsavers.
So I think, Prayag, we're all present and correct now.
Okay, very good. Let me start now. I haven't seen Patrick yet.
Yeah, he's there. He's there.
Okay, good. Evening from Cambodia, John. Patrick, like it's afternoon for you and all the participants. I'm not sitting in the same room with the ladies because we had some echo problem last time. So I'm sitting in my room. Again, I'm Prayag, country manager of DHL Express Cambodia. And I'm very happy to participate in today's virtual session. John, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for the motivational message you have sent to us on our entirety audit. We truly appreciate it. And also would like to add, John, your message during the EPIC EOI event was really wonderful. KH, we had a regional DHL Got Heart winner with amazing story. So it was really good. So yeah, it was a very good session. So I would like to hand over to the ladies. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Prayag.
Okay, first I would like to express my greeting to the CEO of DHL, Mr. John, and a country manager, Mr. Prayag, and Patrick as well. Also, good evening to all participants of this conference, especially our organizer who pulled up such a wonderful meeting. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lai Hiet Thak. I graduated from Northern University in 2018, and my major is education management and teaching. In addition, I am also a student who received a scholarship from Kidshelp Cambodia EV, and currently I am working as a learning and development position for a private company called Kidshelp in Phnom Penh City. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Following from Sister Lai, I want to introduce myself. First, I would like to say to Mr. John Pearson and also Mr. Prayag, Teacher Patrick, and Teresa, and everyone here. I am Seon. I'm 19 years old. I study in Royal University of Phnom Penh in Department of Bioengineering. I am a third year student, and also I'm focusing on food microbiology industry. And also I am a student in Kidshelp, yes, and it's such a great time for me and a first time for me to sit here. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you.
So hello, Mr. John. Hello, Praya, and everybody here. Well, my name is Rarina, and right now I am a year 3 student at Western University, and my major is English for Business Communication. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jumriapsua from Cambodia. Jumriapsua from Kidshelp. My name is Kidshelp and I'm 17. I am one of the Kidshelp scholarship student as well, and I'm majoring in international relations. I'm in my first year. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the first thing that strikes me there, we'll make sure we follow the procedure a little bit, and I think two people are going to talk about how kids help change their life. But the first thing that struck me is the quality, the good quality of your education and all the variety of the things you're studying. So it's good to see that people are putting their education or are in a position to put their education first. And yeah, it was a pleasure to hear you introduce yourselves. Maybe you're a little bit nervous. I don't know. Maybe you're not.
I know.
And now everyone's smiling. So no, but it was good to hear the little 1 minute, 90-second introduction. And I think, if I'm not wrong now, Prayag, maybe two people give a little bit more detail on how kids help change them. Is that right? Is that where we are now?
Yes, it is where we are. Okay.
Okay, so I will detail the question continue from the Mr. John and Mr. Praya. The question is how Kidshelp changed my life. I will be the first one who present here. So can I start, please?
Yes, please, like here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can look at the camera again.
Because there are two screens on my computer, and that the camera that we can see you are. So let me focus only on my computer. Look at to the question that how has Kidshelp changed my life, and what would I have been like today without Kidshelp scholarship? I am pretty sure that I would not be the same person as I am today if I didn't get this incredible scholarship, because it is such a good organization that provide a great opportunity for high achieving students to get sponsored for their university or college without having to pay anything back. So I can now firmly say that this opportunity has absolutely transformed my life or changed my life by like 150 degrees. Why did I say like that? I will tell you a story, but maybe so long. And let's see. You know that I am a student who live in countryside, that my English is quite poor due to the fact that I never learned it. Even my public school, from the kindergarten to primary school, there were no English curriculum for students. So in my province, some students went to the private school to learn English, but not me, since my family could not afford to send me there. And more than that, like my unfortunately time, when I was in grade 8, my parents were forced to leave me with my two sisters and my deaf grandma to work in Phnom Penh city because of their heavy debt. However, as a big sister, I did many things to raise more money for our family. Like sometime at my weekend, I pick the chili, sow bananas, or sow some vegetable at the market to sell more money to support our family. And additionally, I also work during my long holidays or vacation that I need to travel to the city to look after my neighbor kids or work as a waitress in a restaurant. So that was how I live, and it was a mature story from my secondary school to my high school. But anyway, you may remember that I did not perform in English well, but you see, English is one of the subjects that all students must study so hard because they need to take that English in their grade 12 exam too. And while this foreign language is regarded as a second language in Cambodia, so all the students must learn if they want to require a good job. Anyway, as a result, I worked very hard to save more money, and I also found an English school that were both affordable for me and had some foreign volunteer too, like a KKH school that I went from there too. And at that time, I really enjoy my class and love it so much. But nevertheless, my horrible day came again to my life that my mother begged me to stop studying because she needs me to work full time since she could no longer support us. That I was so heartbroken. I don't know what to say, what to do. However, one day, not just recently, that I went to the school, my English schools again, that I got the surprise that I know that I still have the lucky lies again since my English school got me a sponsor for my study and I get paid $12 per month. Given that I had enough money to pay for my lesson, my sister class, and our meal as well. So, like it's a long story. I would like to recap that I can tell you that Kidshelp provide me with job advancement opportunity and boost my performance until now. Hence, I am confident that if I didn't receive this scholarship, I would not complete or finish my education, and I may be working in a restaurant like I mentioned, and can be of a server or waitress, and more than that, maybe of a nanny who take care of the children. So I can say that I'm so proud of this scholarship. Since now I have my ideal job with a good income to support myself and even though my entire family. Finally, I have a fantastic opportunity to sit here with other students representative of Kidshelp Cambodia EV. I would love to gratitude all of the sponsors, and I'm also aware that DHL is also one of our sponsors who donate a lot of things to KKS school, and even though the students who live in Midway Health and Kidshelp. So in this sense, I don't know what to say. You see, I'm so nervous when I speak about my life, but I am really I really appreciate it and thank you from the bottom of my heart for your providing me with other students in your invaluable financial when we most need it to pursue our dream, and your assisting hand demonstrate the noon, like you're the second light to other children and greatly assist us in overcoming obstacles. Furthermore, I would love to do my best to help other children and my society, like my society and community, even though my province as well, as you have did to us. And I will never forget what you have done. And this is what I want to say, that I really want to have you back one day if you need. And thank you again for your support, for your kindness. This is all my big thank you once again.
So
Thank
thank
you.
you here.
Well, let me comment. Shall I comment briefly? Let me comment briefly after each one. I mean, I can. Sorry, Rarina. Yeah, I can see Patrick smiling there, and I think you know, the story was amazing. Amazing. You know, there's no better moment in my day than to hear a story like that. And you know, sometimes, you know, words aren't enough to say how amazing, you know, that is. You know, just the things you said about, you know, you had both good times and bad times, and then you had the period where maybe you were going to have to stop your studies, you had to work extra, during your childhood or as you became a young lady to, to make more money for yourself or the family. And you talked about, your English. Well, let me tell you, your English is absolutely perfect. If I could speak French like you could speak English, I'd be very happy. Your English is amazing. So, to go from a stage where you obviously weren't speaking anything more than hello or goodbye to speaking like you did there, with all the, let me say, the character, you brought your story to life, the way you characterized your story. And I heard a big however, and I heard a big but, and then I knew something else was coming. So, you really did a great job there, and you must be, one of the proudest people, and your family must be proud of you, and the kids, Kidshelp Cambodia must see you as a sort of role model for so much of what, Patrick and others, seek to do. So I had to interrupt at that stage just whilst the comments were fresh in my mind. And yeah, maybe you'll work for DHL forever or for a short time. I don't know. I'm getting up to speed on, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I'm sure Prayag would love to have all of you working for DHL. But absolutely, who wants to, and who wants to work now or who wants to work later, that's the detail that only you guys know. But I'd be very happy if I found out that all of you were working for DHL. So, and I'm sure that makes you happy if that was a career, a type of career that you wanted to have. So with that, I'm now going to pass back to the second speaker, which I think was Rarina. Do I say that right? Is that how we say your name?
Yes. To me, I am a girl who grown up at Law Village, whereas my family have financial that have trouble with financial, and I always made a goal to go to university as a tool for me to get out the situation I was in. I can say that I am the lucky girl of many candidates who want to pass the scholarship in Kidshelp. The scholarship is totally changed many students' life. So now let me tell a story of mine. Since I am a student in Kidshelp since 2015, since I am a student there, Kidshelp provided me a lot of opportunities, especially the program that related to English. They teach me how to speak, how to confidence myself in my English. Unlikely, I used to be one of the students who are afraid to speak my English out. And then, in view of the fact, I finished my grade 12 in 2020. Then I got university scholarship in Kidshelp. This scholarship completely changed my life. Like, it's not only helping me, but with it also used my family financial. The scholarship it really, really means to me. I don't know if I didn't get the scholarship. Like the scholarship is helped me to pursue my education by letting me choose the subject or the major that I want to study to achieve my dream job. And it really means to me to more than just obtaining money. But without the scholarship, I don't know what my future's gonna be. Maybe right now I might be a girl who work at the factory or somewhere else. So in the end, I really greatly appreciate for Kidshelp for helping me and others Cambodian people to have a better life, to help us with their truly love and their financial support. There's no words to say because that's so much, and without them, I cannot imagine what my future is gonna be. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And let me comment likewise. I mean, similar words and similar thoughts, but they're coming from a different person. So, different thing, the same things always mean different from different people. And I could pick up that in what you were saying. Obviously, your experiences are similar in one way, but different in another. And what I really sensed there was obviously the importance of the scholarship and how that's helped you get out of, the situation that you said your parents were in right at the beginning of your words there. But the other thing I heard was your confidence. And your confidence comes through the screen at me, and confidence is an amazing thing, because if people have confidence, then they really believe they can do anything within reason, and that gives them the desire and the courage to go off and do more and more as each year goes by. And the other thing, I can't remember what you said that made me think it particularly, but well, improving lives. I think you mentioned the word improving lives, which makes me think about our network, and we are the most international company in the world. That means you can find it, the way I like to say that is, you can find a DHL service more countries than you can smoke a Marlboro cigarette. Now, you shouldn't be smoking anyway, so I don't want you smoking Marlboro cigarettes, and more countries than you can drink a can of Coca-Cola. And you probably shouldn't be drinking Coca-Cola either. But DHL, the brand DHL, which you see behind me, well, sort of, you don't see the actual DHL, but somewhere in my office, is in, it was 220 countries. It's now about 216 or 17 because of Afghanistan and Russia and difficult situations like that. But, because we're so international, we can help communities. So if I heard a story about some employees we had in a small village in northern Thailand. I heard a story about, people in Peru that help build houses for either DHL people that don't have a house, or, non-DHL people that have a house. So one of the ways in which we do connect people and improve lives is by using our people, by using our planes, by using our trucks, by using our vans, by using our cars in small and remote areas, and even big cities, to live this promise of connecting people and improving lives, because no one is in a better position to connect people and improving lives than us, because we are everywhere. And that means when something happens in Pakistan, or something happens in Haiti or Venezuela or wherever, we have people there that can help out. And that's one of the greatest things about what we call our wheel of purpose, connecting people and improving lives. So again, we're all amazingly happy and proud of the story that both of you just shared, and I imagine it's the story of so many others as well. So thank you for that. Do they call you Ra, or they call you Rina?
Rina. Oh, just call me Rina.
Rina, okay. I'm still getting used to the names. My name is very easy, as you can see, John Pearson and Patrick Byron. Very easy to see that. Teresa's a bit more complicated, but
John, thank you very much. So now, we will have a brief introduction of Khmer Sight Foundation by Ms. Pichara.
Sure.
So after hearing heart-touching story of our students from Kidshelp, let's hear a story from Khmer Sight Foundation. Cambodia, in Cambodia, there are 16 million people, right? But there is only one specialist doctor for many people. There is an estimated number of 180,000 people who are considered blind, and only 80% of them could regain their eyesight if they could have eye surgery. But villages in Cambodia are mostly very poor, and they cannot afford the cost of eye treatment, glasses, and the surgery. Mostly they do not even understand what may cause their poor eyesight, and even if they did, they would not know where to get the help. Talking about Khmer Sight Foundation, it was founded in Cambodia in 2007 by Sien Mu and the late Kim Suma. I'm still sorry. And they provide free eye treatment, glasses, and eye surgery. Sien, he met Professor Suna Shah, who is a world-renowned ophthalmologist from the United Kingdom 5 or 6 years ago. Professor Shah is now the medical chairman of Khmer Sight Foundation. Since joining the scene, Professor Shah has been organizing teams of eye surgeons to visit and carry out eye surgeries in Cambodia. And the doctors come from many countries such as Belgium, Germany, Australia, United Kingdom, Singapore, India, Canada, and the USA. What's the most touching part is that the surgeons travel at their own cost and give their time free of charge. And My Sight Foundation organizes many screening clinics, especially in the countryside, and they find out patients who need the cataract surgery. This year, we arranged a screening at our Kidshelp school, and after the screening, we also invited 96 patients to get the surgery in Phnom Penh. However, many are afraid or their family didn't want them to attend. But we did have nearly 50 successful cataract surgeries in May and August. And also our Kidshelp scholarship students, me too. In Phnom Penh, we were invited to be trained by My Sight Foundation to support the the screening clinic in our village, and some of us also regularly volunteer to help when there are teams of surgeons come to Phnom Penh. This is all I can share about the My Sight Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you. So can I comment? I'll comment there as well, because that was very easy for me to understand. So again, congratulations on communicating what you wanted to say really nicely. Yeah, it's and I did a little bit of reading, but I'm a little bit familiar on the topic of blindness, at a very simple level, because I know that so many visual impairments can be corrected, with an operation that lasts literally a few minutes or just by a few dollars here or there. Not only surgery and that, but just diet and nutrition and everything else. So I can very easily understand how such a big topic and issue for Cambodia can be attended to in relatively simple ways, and then the impact is, enormous, obviously, of correcting that. So you must feel good at the end of any day with Khmer Sight Foundation. I can imagine you feel pretty good at the end of the day, because you've helped people with one of the senses, whether that's hearing or eyesight or any of our touch. But in the case of eyesight, one of the senses that is, undeniably critical to being able to get on in an easy way. So many people, I'm amazed and humbled by, how people without sight lead their daily lives as well, and how they've manage to adjust all their systems and all their senses. But for those that needn't be blind or needn't have bad sight, what you're doing and what the foundation is doing is beyond anyone's imagination as to how much it helps. So thank you very much, Sen.
Yes, Ms. Trayon, would you like to share your experience with the Khmer Sight Foundation and what you have achieved?
Yeah, thank you, Prayat. Okay, now I will tell more about how can I be a volunteer in My Sight Foundation and what I am getting for. Okay, I am a student in Kidshelp, and our Kidshelp is not only helping the kids, but it has many parts of it. You know that our Kidshelp also arrange a program to help the people in my village for having the eye tech and surgery. So on behalf of I am a student in Kidshelp and also a member in my village, why can I skip this opportunity? Yes, sure, I cannot. So I will take this opportunity to be a volunteer, join as a volunteer in My Sight Foundation. Surely, while I must be a volunteer in My Sight Foundation, I can get a lot of experience from all the doctor and everyone there, such as make me have more confidence, and also I know how to work well with a team. Especially, I know that I have to prepare myself for making grandma and grandpa have more like back home with the cute smile or something and trust on our surgery. Yes, you know that when we are in the surgery room, we will be afraid or scared or something. Yes, so while they are prepared to the surgery room, I feel like they look so scared. So that time I didn't know how to do. But the only thing that I can do, I have to motivate them as well, and also I have to motivate them, and also I have to telling them more about our what they are getting from the after they have the surgery. Yes. Finally, we can get their smile back. Yes, and also with the friendly doctor and all the volunteer there. Yes, and so I want to take this opportunity for represent to the grandma and grandpa, and as I am a member in my village, we are really, yes, I can say that we are really grateful and appreciate for all your kindness, yes, and also for all your help, yes, and also we love the Khmer Thai Foundation and the Kidshelp organization. To be honest, if I don't have all of you here, I can say that I cannot be here. I cannot sit in DHL. Yes, it's such a great time for me to express my feeling to all your sponsors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And there's a saying in English which is last but not least. And whilst you're the last speaker, you definitely weren't the least. And what I took from that was the way in which you sort of coach and mentor and help people amongst all the things that you do that I don't know about, but the way that you coach and help and mentor people, you know, by what you say to them and how you encourage them. And I imagine you're a very good friend and helper to many, many people. And yeah, it just reaffirmed everything that I think about Kidshelp and everything that I think about the Sight Foundation put into one, really, and the two go hand in hand quite nicely in that sense. So thank you for that summary, and I really appreciate all four of you. I don't know how long you practiced for, 1 or 2 minutes or 1 or 2 hours or 1 or 2 weeks, but it doesn't matter whatever it was, it's perfect. So practice makes perfect, as they say. So Prayag.
Yeah, thank you, John. So let me give you a little bit of briefing on how DHL Express Cambodia is involved with Kidshelp. And you see, like when you hear the story like this, what you have just heard, it is really it's amazing stories, right? Like, and you have not one or two, you have hundreds of students coming out from this Kidshelp to be a better citizen in the in Cambodia. Now, actually, we started Kidshelp, John, since 2018, right? We started doing various activities. Initially, we helped Kidshelp to start. Our first project was building the computer lab for Kidshelp. So what we have done is like we did donate refurbished computers from DHL, and then we created the lab in Kidshelp. Similarly, like we also provided internship opportunities to the Kidshelp students, and one of the students who came from the Kidshelp who did the internship with DHL, he stayed with us and worked for us for about four more years, right? And that was really good. And we also organized not only internship program, but the facility tours for the students, where we get our SMTs to share their experience working for this great yellow machine. Last year, our GVD activity, what we did was like we did go to the Kidshelp by painting the school, and we also donated stationery. Now, not only that, John, like I heard from Patrick that like our global office is also pretty engaged with Kidshelp by mentoring the students and various other activities. Now, what we are planning to do at this moment is to organize. There are few students which we got to know from Kidshelp that they are studying marketing. And we are going to organize an orientation program in our office in November. And we also give the commitment to Patrick that like our head of HR will organize a session on how to prepare CV for the students, because like there are year 3, year 4 students who will be ready to go to the work market, right? So we want to help them to prepare the CV as well. Now, apart from Kidshelp, John, we are supporting Khmer Side Foundation, but we are not as involved as Kidshelp because like this is what Patrick is really putting lots of effort. The part we are playing at this moment is transportation of the used glasses from UK to Cambodia. And not only that, like Patrick, not only Patrick, like we have Steve Wells, who is our head of finance domain based out of Singapore. He's also collecting these used glasses from Malaysia and Singapore for this Kids Side Foundation, and we will definitely help them on that. So overall, John, like we are very happy to be part of Kidshelp as well as Khmer Side Foundation in Cambodia, and we will definitely support this in future moving forward because like we have been doing this since 2018, and I do not see us stopping anywhere soon. So we are here fully committed, and we will continue supporting both Kidshelp and Khmer Side Foundation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Prayag. So that's a good explanation of how we've been doing it in DHL Express, I assume, or maybe other divisions as well for 4 years now. And I guess, Patrick, you've been involved with it for longer than that, or maybe that time. Yeah, so before I say anything else, Prayag, where are we now on the agenda? Maybe, should I speak?
Yes, John, now it's your part. So yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, well, just commenting on something you said, Prayag, about partnerships, and this is part of Teresa's role. Teresa, in the sense that, one of my beliefs that when we started off, let me explain it this way. We have these sporting partnerships with Manchester United or with a certain rugby club or a certain art gallery or a certain ballet or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. We have different partnerships, ladies, in different parts of the world. And my comment is always that the longer they go on, the better they get. Now, if we get to a stage where the partnership is not so good, then maybe we should stop, one of these partnerships. But every year gets a bit stronger, and it's the same with our purpose partnerships. Every, Surf Life Saving Australia, for example, is a good example that is now, it was when I was there, I don't know, 10, 15, 18, 13 years, 15 years it's been going. I'm trying to think when I started that with Gary Edstein and others, but every year gets better, and every year we know each other better. And it's just exactly the same with the other purpose partnerships of SOS Children's Villages or Kidshelp Cambodia, or some of our DHL's Got Heart partnerships, even that, logically next year should be better than the last year. So I just wanted to say that, and hopefully you can relate to that comment. And yeah, I've got so many things to say. Firstly, I congratulate you all 4 of you on taking the opportunity that was presented to you. I think that's the best way. Managing the difficult situations you've been in is one thing, and amazingly proud of you for that. But taking the opportunity that Kidshelp Cambodia has sort of given to you on a plate, really, and benefiting from it, because not always in life does every opportunity get taken in the right way, and it doesn't always deliver, you know, the things that it could deliver, because people don't take the opportunity and grab it like a stick and run with it. And you know, that's something that I would say first. And you're all, you know, at the start of your career, you're all young, you all have so much opportunity ahead of you. Maybe that makes me think of, you know, always trying to make the right decision. You know, when you get an opportunity put in front of you, whether it's in one industry or another industry, or whether it's even DHL, you know, think about everything, you know, carefully, and really understand what's being presented to you. I'd really want to make that, you know, very important to you, because don't always take the first opportunity that comes your way, you know. And if you've got confidence, which is what, you know, I was saying after Rena spoke, you know, if you have confidence, you'll say, look, thank you very much, but I'll wait for the next opportunity, because I think it's something I would enjoy more. And so don't be impatient to jump at something, because that something may not be what you really want to do. And that's why I stress that, you know, DHL is a great place to work. I firmly believe that I'd be very happy if my kids worked for DHL, because I know that, you know, they would, their first week, their first day would go well, their first week would go well, and then they get opportunities presented to them. They have a decent boss that sort of coaches and mentors them. So I'd have no problem if my children work for DHL. And so that's what I'm encouraging you to look out for as you talk to prospective employers. I think it's fantastic that Prayag mentioned, you know, getting students, not yourselves, getting people ready, getting their CV or their resume ready, because that helps them have their first discussion, helps them, we can teach people how to be in an interview, and so on and so forth. So I think that's my second point. Don't jump at the first opportunity that comes your way. You've got so much to offer. You know, you're world-class citizens and world-class employees in a developing country. Let's be honest that, you know, you can do so much for companies, and you have so much value for companies, which is why I'd be happy if any of you or all of you work for DHL. Because you would make our company better. There's no doubt about that. I can know that just from talking to you. What else? Then maybe, yeah, one of the things I think is important is listening. I really like people that listen well. Listening all sounds, there's listening and there's hearing, by the way. Some people might hear you, but are they really listening? And I could think, are you listening to me now? I'm sure you are. But my grandmother used to say to me, 2 ears and 1 mouth, and you should use them in that proportion. Means you should listen more than you speak. And I like that. I like that saying, because when you're listening, you're learning. It's a fact, you know, because you're hearing someone say something. So if that person has got something to say, you're learning more than you knew 5 minutes before. And then also a fact, when you're talking, you're not really learning, because you're speaking what you already know. Now that's important for me now to speak to you is important. So I'm sort of learning when you're talking to me, but I'm not learning so much. Maybe I'm learning a little as I'm speaking, because I'm thinking about maybe how you're interpreting it. There's a little bit of a value, but, you know, listening is really important. And as you go into those career discussions, or as you said, Shreyun, as you talk to other, you know, people at Kidshelp, or you maybe talk to people at the Site Foundation, you will definitely be listening, because they might be presenting problems to you, they might be presenting concerns to you, they might be presenting anxieties to you. So for sure you'll be listening, and then you're in a better position to comment back to them. In fact, I had a really nice example of this. Oh, it's probably 2 years ago now. I went to see a doctor in London. He was a specialist. He was a ENT, so ear, nose, and throat. A doctor. It didn't matter what he was, but after a while of me speaking, I said to him, I said, "Oh, you're quite a good listener." I don't know why I said it, but I said it to him. And he said, "Well, funny you should say that, because when he was training to be a doctor, his coach or his professor said, when a patient comes into the doctor's surgery, just give them 4 minutes to speak and don't interrupt them once, because they will probably tell you everything that they want to say about how they're feeling. They'll say, oh, I have some headaches, I can't really sleep very well, I have this, and then don't interrupt them. Then they say, I have this maybe, and sometimes I feel like that. And by the end of 4 minutes, they've said everything they want to say. Now, what I took from that was that you don't have to wait very long. You know, you don't have to be that patient a person to wait 4 minutes. And it's the same in business. Most people, when they come into my office, will tell me what they want to say. And the only way that they don't really tell me is if I interrupt them. And then they say, oh, you know, he's missed my point, or he hasn't understood. So I think listening is something that's really important. And as you know, carry on your careers, whether it's in your family situation or in a business situation, I encourage you never to sort of forget that listening is one of the most important things. The next thing I would say is that your you know, your situation as you grew up, as you know, in your when you were very young, whilst it was very difficult and you know the financial security wasn't there, you've got yourself to a level now through your own personal efforts or through Kidshelp, or a combination of the two, including your parents, where you're at no disadvantage whatsoever to anyone in Cambodia or anyone on an international marketplace. You can all speak great English, you're all very intelligent, you're well educated, and you should never compromise on what you can offer a company, and have that level of confidence, which is what Rena was saying. You know, have that level of confidence as you get into any future situations, because you know your education and your English is absolutely fantastic. And I also believe that I think in different countries education matters. Education matters, full stop. But my own personal view in DHL is when I interview people, I don't ask whether they have been to university or have they got an MBA or have they got a PhD. I look for their own personality. I look for whether they can listen. I look for whether they're excited. I look for whether they're enthusiastic. I look for whether they've got energy. If someone, you know, if I walk away from someone not feeling happier than when I met them, then maybe that person has less to offer DHL. But if they make me enthusiastic, or they make me laugh, or they make me think about a different way of looking at something, then I've taken something from that. And I know that you guys, all of you, can, you know, light someone's eyes up and make someone smile. So whilst education 100% matters and learning English 100% matters, what you have now is a different toolkit. You know, you open your toolkit, there's a spanner, a hammer, a screwdriver, a scalpel, a wrench, whatever it may be. And I think a lot of people, when they go into the workplace, they open their toolkit, they only have one tool. So they use the same tool for every different type of problem. But I think, you know, you're in a position now where you can decide which part of your brain and which part of your personality you can use for different situations. So don't always resort to the hammer to fix a problem, because you have more tools in your toolkit and you're all very well educated. And yeah, I think those are perhaps some of the things I'd like to say to you. I've been listening to you and thinking about it, and you know, you have such an influence. Maybe my next point is that you have such an influence to impact others. So why do you have an impact to impact others? Why do you have the opportunity to impact others? You're a role model. You're a role model for being successful. You're a role model for learning English. You're a role model for being able to explain what you do to John Pearson in the space of literally 5 minutes. I've got a good understanding of everything you said. So you're a role model to many other women and many other men and many other children. They're coming 15 years old, 16, 17, 18. They look up to you, and don't ever forget that. I think people forget it. It's a good reason they forget it, because they're very humble. They say, oh, I'm not really a role model. I'm not that successful myself. You know, how can I help all these people? But you have to remember that you absolutely are successful and you have managed to walk through these dark woods, through in between the trees, and reach the sunshine at the end. And many other people can benefit from that. So I think giving your time, which you do anyway, giving your time to others, but not just people at the Site Foundation, not just people at Kidshelp, to anyone, quite honestly, because you've got a lot of experiences you can share and a lot of experience you can draw upon and make their life better, which is like our life, connecting people and improving lives. You know, we know for sure we connect countries. It's interesting in DHL. One of the things is that countries that trade with other countries, whether they sell wool or corn or copper or gold or pharmaceuticals, countries that trade with other countries have better levels of prosperity. They have higher salaries for frontline workers. They have less war and civil and social strife. So being connected to the world, which is why we run this program called the Global Connectedness Index, to show how, sounds complex, but it's really not, just showing how some countries are more connected to others. Netherlands, you know, Holland is a very connected country. Singapore is a very connected country. I'm sure Cambodia is becoming more connected. And what is it connected? It's connected on trade, you know, moving, you know, nutmeg or coffee or gold or copper or technology to another country. That's trade. It's about moving services. It's about moving capital, and it's about moving people movement. So there's 4 dimensions by which we measure the level of connectedness of a country. And one of our purposes in DPDHL is to help countries be more connected to others along any dimension, but certainly trade is the one we're most interested in, because that's what we do. We ship packages from A to B. And the great thing about our business is it's the package that's important, not the A and the B. A package from New York to London is no more important than a package from Cambodia to Chile, because it's what's inside it. It might be a contract, it might be some medicine, it might be a new invention, it might be a part for an aircraft. So people think, oh, we're in London, we're in New York, we're in Germany, we're in all the important places. It's not true. You have to be everywhere. And with e-commerce, global e-commerce, people buying things online, people buy things online from anywhere. So we're shipping from London to all the countries in the world because someone wants that t-shirt, or someone wants that book, or someone wants that music, or whatever else it may be. So that's, the fascinating thing about working for DHL is we're talking, I could be in that office with you now. Maybe you'd be even more nervous. I don't know. I could be in that office with you now, but it feels like, I am a bit there, and we can sense. Just the other day, as Prayag said at the beginning, I was congratulating, this is a little bit of a digression, but it's important nevertheless. I was congratulating him and his team on getting a certification of audit. And the audit is adequately controlled, which means that I can go to bed and sleep easy at night because I know our business in Cambodia is adequately controlled. And that's all I want. If it's well controlled, that's great. But if it's adequately controlled, that means people are doing their job. And any one country doing their job is just as important as another. So whatever job you do in a company, in a great company, I hope, maybe DHL, I had a lady the other day that said to me, oh, hi, my name is so-and-so. I just work in customer service. And I said, don't say just, because customer service is one of our most important, one of the important things. So you shouldn't say I'm just in customer service. You should say I'm proud to be in customer service. And she was very happy by that remark, because I think she realized how important customer service is. But for some reason, she was thinking, I don't really have an important job. Well, everyone's job is important in DHL. And when you join, wherever you end up working, you want to be valued, and you should deserve to be and expect to be valued for the contribution you make. So that's another thing to have in your mind. And I think I'd pause there maybe because it sounds like you know an awful lot anyway. And you're in a good position, and you've been put in a good position by Kidshelp, and you've been put in a good position by your own families, by Prayag and his team, and the good work that Patrick helps so much with. And I've seen many pictures along the way more so over the last year or two, well, a year or two or three, probably since the program started. And we're very proud of the association, what it can be in 5 years' time. Why would we stop? As long as it stays the same or gets better each year, why would we stop? That would be quite a retrograde, sort of a negative thing to do in my mind. So you have our assurances that we will continue to be involved, we'll continue to be interested, and we'll continue to participate financially and in other ways, which makes the organization stronger and stronger. And one day we'll have 50 young women on the screen like you, talking to us and explaining what they do. So there's no limit to how big it can be, and Prayag certainly knows that. So yeah, and I think one of the things I had how to adapt in a fast changing environment. I think just if you listen and you're involved and you're interested, don't be afraid of change. Change is a positive thing, and you'll just move with that. As the wind changes, you get blown in a new direction and you move with it. As the current changes in water, you might move with that current and go with it. And I think that is with change. The world is definitely a better place to live in many ways, certainly in terms of education, in terms of medication, in terms of longevity and life expectancy. I know there is a lot of doom and gloom out there. There are many things that are fairly worrying, but the world is definitely a better place than it was 50 years ago. And we like to say in DHL that we're a very resilient company. And I think when you think about where you're going to work, think about their company. Is it a global company? Is it a regional company? Is it a local company? And it doesn't matter whether it's global or local, but just try and do your own little bits of research and understand who it is you might be joining, whichever stage you are in your life. So those would be my comments. I'm still in DHL for one simple reason, that I like DHL. I joined in 1986, before all of you were born, I'm sure. Maybe 10 years before you were born, maybe even more. And I stayed here because I like it. It's as simple as that. If I hadn't liked it, or they hadn't liked me, I would have left. So I think where you join is, there's no company that is better than another. It's not like American Express is better than Citibank, or Citibank is better than DHL, or DHL is better than Ford Motor Company. It's what suits you. And any business, as long as it's profitable and it's serving its customers and making a contribution to a society, it doesn't matter whether it makes cheese or it makes noodles or it sends packages. It can be a great company. It's about the values of the company that are important. So don't always go for depending on what you want to do anyway, don't always go for the fancy things, because they're not always necessarily as fancy as their product is. So that would be my last point. So I think Prayag, maybe Patrick, was there anything you wanted to share of, you've had so much experience with all of this.
Yes, thank you, John. So I mean, before I say those, I just really wanted to just say thank you to you, to Teresa, to Bopa, who we haven't seen, but she's organized a lot of the stuff, to the IT team in Cambodia, who also made sure that we had a few sessions to make sure the sound was all great, and also to the girls. You mentioned about there could be 50 girls next time. We actually have 48 students at the moment, and who are in scholarship in universities. And the really incredible thing is 85% of them are female. I'm not really sure why, but 85% of the students that have scholarships, and the process for qualifying is is neutral on sex. It's just everybody who wants to apply. We look at the grades, we look at the financial situations of the families, we look at their performance, not just necessarily the academic performance, but their attitude at school, etc., their positivity. And we have virtually, I was talking to someone the other day to verify, and we've had virtually 0 dropouts of the students that we sponsored. I think the first student started in about 2008. A girl we know from internet is Ling Lang, Sok Leng is her name, and she was the very first student, and she studied psychiatry. And when she graduated, she was the 56th psychiatrist in Cambodia. We're talking about people of 16 million. She's now practicing in one of the provinces, and I know that she gets in contact. And if any of our students need support, need to speak to somebody, Sok Leng's always at the end. So one of the 56 psychiatrists in the country are there to support the girls. I actually got involved in 2010. You probably remember when I retired in 2012 from DHL. I think somebody suggested in their wisdom they should give me cufflinks and a pen. And one of my friends pointed out that actually I probably wouldn't be wearing cufflinks when I retired. So they gave a check for 1,500 euros to Kidshelp instead, which was, absolutely great. So when I first went to Cambodia in 2014, most of the students, and speaking as an accountant, but most of the students were studying finance and English. Those were finance, banking, and English. Since then, we've put a program where we actually, when the girls or the students are in grade 11, grade 12, we get students from the university to come and talk to them. We get careers guidance. We still have some finance and that's great, and English students, but we also now have a number of girls studying are doctors, pharmacologists, architects, engineers, as in Shreyon, social workers, midwives. So really all careers which are really, really meaningful to society. And one of the things that we did last year, we started, and we went through my involvement with Khmer Site. We said, well, if we're going to run a clinic and they need volunteers, why should other people volunteer? So we put out a note and said, look, we want some students to come and volunteer. And we had 12 students who said yes, they'd give up their Saturday to do a training session on doing the basic eye testing, etc. We then said we also need to do screening for blood and sugar diabetes, because you can't have surgery if you have high blood pressure or high blood. And one of our doctor students and one of our pharmacologists went out and they bought all the equipment, and we now do the screening. They do the screening themselves in the hospital, contact Khmer Site, so we can screen out the patients. They don't have to go off to Cambodia, etc. to Phnom Penh if they're not going to qualify. So just the involvement, and this year we needed IT support in the 2 dormitories, and we needed IT support in the school. And originally, I spoke to Prayag, and I thought, why am I asking Prayag? We have students who've studied IT. And in fact, one of our IT students had worked in DHL as IT support for 3 years. So I contacted him and he said, well, I don't know. Can I do it? I said, of course you can do it. Don't be ridiculous. And he's now, I think last weekend or next weekend, he's going to the dormitory that Shreyon, who's one of the managers of that dormitory, because we have students who manage each of the dormitories. And he went along about 3 weeks ago, and he sorted out the one dormitory. We're now sorting out the other dormitory. We're then putting internet into the school. So it's so great seeing the students who were part of the scholarship program now see that they can add value. They can come back. Two of the girls who studied teaching are now teaching in our school. They've gone back to the village and they're now teaching children. every day. So just, I mean, you know, so it is, of course, it's giving and helping, but just seeing them give back. One of the girls who, I mean, I love all 48, but one of the girls I love is Levoit, who I sponsor, who's a doctor, and she's promised me that even when I'm dead, so you for those who are much younger, they can check up. I'm telling you what she's promised, that once a month she will run a clinic when she qualifies back in the village. So, you know, to me, this whole cycle of giving back and is so rewarding. I mean, a lot of the funding we get are from Germany, and you know, Germany, they're going through hard economic times, etc. And I mean, from my point of view, I mean, I'm great because I've been out there, I think six times, and I'm going out in January again for a month to the school. So I mean, I'm able to have much more contact with that, but. Part of the introduction that we did today, we're also going to put on our social media to explain to people exactly why and what we do, and you know, I mean, how it just builds, and how these students. It's not just about giving as a one-way street. It's about building that community, making that awareness, and eventually, you know, it's sort of self-supporting. And yeah, I mean, I love Kidshelp. People had told me I was going to be bored when I was retired. I think I'm spending about 40% of my time now working with Kidshelp. I'm in contact with Prayag on a very, very regular basis. And even just, I mean, we've had a problem with the memorandum of understanding. And I reached out to Prayag. We reached out to a law firm. We said, look, we'll charge you $5,000, and we're not sure if we can do it. Reached out to Prayag, and he, through his network of contacts, he gave me the name of somebody who I contacted, who said, look, don't go to lawyers. This is what the procedure is. This is who you write to. This is how much you pay. If you have any problem, come back to me. So it's that whole network thing, which is just, you know, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So you know, thank you to the girls. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you, John, what we're doing. And you know, yeah, it's great. And hopefully the next one of these times when you're in Asia, you will to go out to Cambodia and see some of the work. And thanks also, I think, to two of the board. I think Fads and Joe have got a session with our students as well. Not quite like this, but I'm going to talk to the group. We've got about 24 people have said they want to dial in or Zoom in and come, and Teresa's organizing that at the moment. So thanks for the opportunity to share with you and just to tell you some more of what we're doing and just share with you some of the work of the words of our students. But we've got lots more. If you want to do it every month, we can give you 4 a month.
Well,
Thank you very much.
That was really good extra perspective coming from, you know, your side, Patrick, and then Prayag's side, and then the girls themselves. So I really appreciate that. So Teresa, we're now at a stage. Do we hand back to Prayag, or we have any other? Yeah, if there's any questions, that would be good. Who's sitting behind Rena? Is that Ken Lee? Who's in that picture behind you, Rena?
Yeah, it's Ken Lee.
Ken Lee. Oh, that's good. He'll be happy that you've got his picture there.
So John, Patrick, thank you very much. It's a passion, like what it counts, right? Like when I hear John saying about you know, like grabbing the opportunities and listening is how important it is. Like that 4 minutes of listening is a crucial part of it, right? And John, you share like when you interview some person or when you see some person, like it's not about the education that counts, it's the personality is the biggest trait, right? Like, and these are the things I believe, like the girls are listening to it, and if you take a few of these things, that would be great. Like John has mentioned, like you have been with the DHL since 1986, right? Like none of them were born at that time. Patrick, like he spent his entire life in DHL. Like I have been with DHL since 2000, and now like it's been more than 22 years, right? And this is all that passion that what we do every day matters, and we truly enjoy what we are doing, and this is something. And even though like Patrick left DHL, and he's still putting so much emotion and the devotion, actually, I would say, to Kidshelp, and getting us involved is something like we truly enjoy, and we will definitely want to continue doing that. And we truly appreciate John, that because like for the context of Cambodia, right, like we are small, and having our global CEO spending the time talking to our the Cambodian students, and motivating us is one of the biggest thing already. So thank you very much for the thing like what you do. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Prayag. You said two really good words there, because I was listening: devotion and emotion. And I think that's really important. You know, the emotion for business, the emotion for our people, the emotion for satisfying customers goes hand in hand with devotion to doing that. So it's not a phrase I've heard before. Well, it's not a phrase, it's just connecting two words, but it's a powerful connection. So I wrote that down. So what I just say, you know, I want to wish you all, you know, much luck for whatever life, you know, comes your way. Not every day is good, but as someone once said to me, a roller coaster goes up as well as down, which is sort of another way of saying, you know, there's good days and bad days, and good years and bad years, and good months and bad months. The bad don't have to be too bad, but it's how you tackle those. And you've got yourselves into an amazing position, all of you, and you've got yourself into an amazing position to help others. So it's a classic case of 1 + 1 = 3. You know, you can really influence 1,000, as my old boss used to say. We're all in a position to influence 1,000. And I hope, you know, we're not just influencing you on the phone today, but what you go and do with any of the things you've heard, or with a renewed sense of energy or higher level of energy, will influence other people. So thank you very much. See, I feel like I've been in Cambodia today, and I will absolutely hope I get there. It's all a question of one by one. It's actually quite a long time since I've been to a country that I haven't been before. I'm only at 69 or 70 countries. There are so many others that have done hundreds, but I struggle to always add a new one, keep on going back to the old ones. So yeah, but God bless you all, and I wish you much health and success in everything that you do. And I've no doubt that you will be very emotionally successful and professionally successful, and each day will be a little bit richer. So we have a group picture. So we have everyone smiling. You have to make sure, yeah, you can do the thumbs up or the, you know, whatever it may be. Okay, have you got one, Teresa? Okay, we have you now captured, so we can prove that you're with us today, in case you've told anyone else you weren't with us. We know that you were here, we have evidence, and we'll keep the photo, and we'll make sure you get a copy of it. So thanks very much, Patrick. Thanks very much, Prayag. Thank you, Teresa, and thank you to our 4 ladies and all your great articulations and your amazing English, I would say.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.